Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alan, this is My Life in Taiwan, and in today's video I've been joined by my two special guests. Once again, this is Cooper and this is Nana. They are here to accompany me through today's video, in which what I want to do is not only share my top 5 memories, happiest memories from Taiwan, but also maybe let you feel a little bit closer to me and see how these experiences have shaped me into the person that I've become after 12 years in this beautiful country. Shall we get started? Excellent, good idea. Let's start with the number 1 memory that I have from my time here in Taiwan, and the date of which is the 1st of September 2012, a day that will forever be ingrained in my memory, as that's the day my son William was born. Now, of course, I'm not going to go down the traditional route of talking about what it feels like to be a father. I'm sure anybody that's watching this that's a father or mother can understand what it means to have a new baby brought into the family. But doing it in a foreign country as I did, or as my wife more literally did, it really demonstrates to you the support network that you have around you. And recently over on Prozzy's channel, we made a video talking about how difficult it is to make friends in Taiwan. But this day, when my son was born and the following weeks and months afterwards, really demonstrated to me how many people in Taiwan really cared about me and my wife and our new son, William. And it was a little bit surprising because you kind of go through the pregnancy for those 9 months as a couple together without much support really. And then William arrives and all of a sudden you're just surrounded by love and people that maybe a few years ago you didn't even know existed, they didn't know you existed, but all of a sudden they're there showing their love, supporting you. So yes, definitely number 1 on the list of my 5 top memories here in Taiwan. On to my second happiest or top memory of my life here in Taiwan so far, and this is going to be day number 1. That was where my mind started to get blown by this country. Everything was completely different. We stayed in a very cheap hotel next to Taichung train station, and then out of the hotel into the main street, and everything just hits you like a sensory overload. The smells, the sounds, the noise of the people, the look of the foods at the stalls that you're walking by. It was just absolutely mind-blowing. And as a couple of freshly arrived Westerners, what we really wanted to do was get to Starbucks. So we set out with our Lonely Planet guide, no smartphones at the time, and we'd read that there was a Starbucks at Zhongyou Baihuo. We were walking around the train station area of Taichung looking for Zhongyou department store, and a young guy came up to us and asked us, do we need any help? Taiwanese guy in perfect English. And we said, yeah, we need to go to Zhongyou department store. We want to go to Starbucks. And he's like, okay, I will take you. And I was like, okay, that's fair enough. It mustn't be that far. And this guy walked us from Taichung train station all the way to the department store, chatting along the way. But then when we got to Zhongyou, we got to Starbucks, the guy said, okay, goodbye. And I said, are you going shopping here? He was like, no, I go to catch my train back at the train station. And he'd taken 30 or 40 minutes out of his day just to walk us to our location. He could see that we were absolutely newbies. And yes, that guy is basically responsible for setting the foundations of my belief and love for most of the Taiwanese people that I encounter. So willing to give up their time to help others. And on to the third happiest day of my life here in Taiwan. And that's going to be, I think, March, let me check, 21st of March 2018. Almost 10 years to the day after arriving, this was the day I was finally given permanent residence, my APRC, here in Taiwan. And the reason that it's exceptionally special to me is because it took me almost double the time to get that card that it would have taken if things had gone a lot more smoothly. Because after almost 4 years of being here, me and Amor took a trip to South Africa to have like a South African wedding with our families. And my school, some paperwork went wrong somewhere. Somebody didn't put in the right form. My visa got basically finished, cancelled until I came back in January. So when I came back in January, I had no idea, but I was starting a new ARC. And that means that you have to reset the clock on your APRC counter. So in my 5th year in 2013, I made my way down to the immigration office, tried to apply for the forms, and they said, oh no, you've only been here for 1 year. But I've been here for over 5 years. went back to speak to the people at school. Turns out that a mistake had been made. I now had to wait another 4 or 5 years before I could apply for my APRC. Now, some people might say that's a huge kick in the balls, massively demotivating, but for me, it wasn't actually that much of a big deal because I knew I was always going to be staying in Taiwan anyway. I just had to wait another 4 to 5 years. But eventually I knew the time would come where I would become a permanent resident of Taiwan, and that happened on March 21st, 2018. And I guess what you could say about that APRC experience or mishap or up, for want of a better word, is that it really taught me a little bit about the Taiwanese way of doing things with a little bit of patience, a little bit of forgiveness, not getting too angry when things don't go your way, and just having a little bit more of a let it be, man lai kind of attitude. The fourth happiest day on my list came when this arrived. My Silver Play Button Award for passing 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. And of course, I know nobody likes a gloater or someone who shows off their achievements so much, but I really am so proud of myself for achieving this. It's something that I started back in 2017 as a way to communicate with William because he's such a YouTube addict, and then it kind of snowballed into 10, 20, 30,000 subscribers. And around about that time is when I really started to set goals and start to try and achieve something. And as I say, it's probably a little bit too proud, a little bit too jiao ao to talk about it too much, but having something that represents all of your hard work, hundreds if not thousands of hours put into filming, editing and subtitling those first 100 videos, this is my reward. And if I could choose to have money or this award, I would keep this award because, to be honest, William thinks it makes his daddy the coolest daddy in the world. My final happy day is going to be related to my working career as a teacher, and I actually filmed it for a video about a weya, which is the end of year banquet that every company has in Taiwan. And at that weya, I was awarded a 10-year service trophy to Stanford American School by my boss at the time. And I totally wasn't expecting to get this reward. I don't think every school or every company will do this. Why does that mean it's the happiest day of my life? Because for me, this 10-year award demonstrated that I wasn't just a teacher that was coming here for 1 year to take advantage of the relatively high pay that English teachers get here. I was committed to my work for 10 years, and not many foreign English teachers that come here will actually stay in the same company for 10 years. I actually stayed in the same company for 12 years when I finally decided to make the decision to give YouTube a go. So that's it. There are my 5 top memories of my life here in Taiwan. 12 years filled with fun experiences and happy times, lots of ups, a few downs along the way, but 5 days that really stick out in my mind when I come to think of my time over the past 12 years. I think that's everything I wanted to share for now. This channel is going to get out and start exploring again in the near future. The name of the channel is Life in Taiwan, and I want it to be a true representation of anything that affects my life here. So that's why you'll see sometimes me filming a food video, sometimes I'll be walking and talking to you through the park, other times I'll be out drinking with my friends, and sometimes I'll be sitting behind my desk discussing some of the more serious political or topical issues that come up. I think it's time to say goodbye. I hope you found this topic a lot more interesting than these two did. They've been bored to sleep, but as for now, and as always, I'll see you next time in my life in Taiwan. Peace. Bye-bye.